Hey everybody, my name is Matthew and we are here at Asia Comic Con Malaysia at Sunway Convention Center. I'm joined by two really distinguished guests, JD as well as Shawn, both from Weyrdworks. So really quickly, can you just introduce yourselves?
So I'm Shawn. I'm the designer and programmer at Weyrdworks. It's a small indie studio in KL.
And I'm JT, and I do the art, basically. Yeah.
Just the art. It's a very humble way to introduce yourself. So okay, we'll dive more into it a little bit later.
Okay.
Before we go into anything about your games, just really quickly, how did Weyrdworks started? Were you guys just partners since the beginning? How the origins of it? I just want to know.
Well, before we started Weyrdworks, we actually started together.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
The One Academy.
Is it a roommates situation?
We were as well. Yeah,
I realized there's a lot of these things like we're roommates, and then we started to do something we love, all those kind of things. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we majored in digital animation. So our background we were all from arts. Even Dan's from sort of an art background.
All right.
So
then we parted ways.
We parted ways after we graduated, and I somehow found myself into games, and we started making games for fun, and I started making games professionally about 7-8 years ago, and we partnered to do a small little game called Velocibox that we released for Steam. It was the era of Steam Greenlight at the time, and we managed to get in. It got a lot of views on YouTube, had pretty good traction and success, and we brought it to PS4 and PS Vita also.
Wow, that's huge. That's the main platforms at the time. So JD, about a little bit about yourself. How do you manage to enter this? What from your perspective, what is Weyrdworks to you, basically?
Basically, I got into it because we did a lot of game jams together. Because I came back after that. I actually freelanced in graphic design as well. So during my free time, Shawn was like, "Hey, we're making a game. We need art. Come over." And so I would go there, create art. I found it really enjoyable because I do love illustration as well, other than graphic design. And in the end, we made Weyrdworks together, and then Weyrdworks is, for me, I see it as don't be afraid to be weird and different. That's why our games they're always slightly different. Like even Steam Puff as well, the controls were different. Not everyone could get used to them. Yeah, there's always something different, basically.
Yep.
So
it's all about experimenting something new.
That's the whole name, right? Being weird, and it hopefully
and
works
spelled
out.
weird.
So I understand you guys are a 3-man team, right?
Yes.
So you, yourself, and also Dan, who will come in a little bit later. So being 3-man, a whole game studio, it's really, really tough. I understand, right? Like how's your day to day? Like I just want to know.
Well, it's all about scoping, but day-to-day wise, we're very, very flexible. We've got time for our own errands and here and there. We've got part-time jobs here and there also.
I see. So it's all about making sure you hit that milestone, hitting that goal.
Exactly.
And whatnot.
For a small team, you can afford to do that. We're all very disciplined.
All right, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Now we are joined by Dan, who is a writer.
Hi.
What's your full title in Weyrdworks?
My full title is game designer / writer, but I'm mostly known as the level designer, the balancer,
So if anything is OP in the game, I find you, right?
Pretty much.
So you better give me your card, so when I play the game, anything's wrong, it's like, hey, you gotta fix my character. Alright, so we're here to talk about your latest title, WarPods. So can you just tell me really quickly what kind of game it is?
Well, WarPods, you can describe it as a classic block breaker with an RPG twist and a cartoon, like Saturday morning cartoon vibe.
Saturday morning cartoon vibe. So the weekends, if I'm a kid, that's a quite interesting kind of So what are the notable features within this game? Like, as a user, what stands out?
So why I say it's a game with a Saturday morning cartoon vibe is because we introduce weekly episodes that are focused around very specific characters in our game. So we have a total of about 17 characters as about now. So we focus on 2 characters at a time, sometimes 3, and they never cross paths until eventually when we try to merge them all together, like the MCU universe.
I mean, it's a good idea as well, right?
So every week there's a monster of the week. There's different monsters. So typical in your sci-fi TV series like Doctor Who and all that. So that's what we're going for.
So it's like, when I was young, every Saturday you get a cartoon. So that's what you were aiming for. So Dan, I want to hear a little bit from you, right? How was it writing for this game? Since he's explained almost every week you have a new story. Was it challenging to try to find a way to merge everything at the end?
Well, we technically started with pretty much a blank slate. What we had about a few months ago was basically okay, we have this list of characters. How do we put them all together? How do we like make them all mingle? What makes them, you know?
Yeah.
So we started fleshing out their backstories one by one and decided, you know what, this entire story is based in an entire galaxy. So we have like pretty much a lot of space to work with. And so we could like section off like certain characters, like these characters, they're gonna be sitting in here for a while. They'll have their own storylines here. But then sooner or later they're gonna start crossing paths. And it's like Shawn said, pretty much how the MCU built themselves up. They focused on the tiny stories first before they moved on into the bigger crossovers.
So the Infinity War crossover, is it gonna happen one day? Maybe all your characters in one episode. Alright.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, the reason why we started WarPods was actually to build a world. Because we noticed that a lot of game developers in Malaysia, even ourselves, we were guilty of it, was that we focused so much on building mechanics, like gameplay mechanics, unique mechanics that are different from everywhere. But we come to realize that what makes a game experience even more powerful, more impactful is actually the world they build. So this is what urged us to build this universe.
I see. And it makes it more connected to the game, to the characters, so you actually care about it. So we have JD back. Now, unfortunately, Shawn had to depart for a little quick. But JD, just tried the game. Really cool art style. I finally get what you mean by Saturday morning cartoon style. Yeah, that throwback, like, I'm back. I'm feeling like a child again. Really cool. So, just bumping on that, right?
Okay.
How is the art style and the design of the game? What kicked off the idea for you?
Okay, so it actually started from Super Steam Puff. So yeah, because WarPods actually takes place in the same universe as well. So we actually brought some characters that we had from Super Steam Puff over to WarPods as well. Yeah. And they're a bit like cute sized as well. This is a fun fact. It was because it was easier to animate if they were all the same skeleton, basically. Yeah. So, but we took that, rehashed it. I love watching Powerpuff Girls, right? Cartoon Network, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab.
Those good times.
Yes, those were amazing designs. So we took all of that. We have a variety of characters, ranging from like puffs to animals to robots. It's very diverse, basically.
I see.
So to represent everyone.
That's a good way. So you have 17 characters, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Is it all available at one go, or you kind of need to slowly unlock it?
You slowly unlock it. There are like common, there are different tiers: common, rare, epic, and legendary as well. So you'll get the common ones first. So they'll be your best friends for the start.
Just jumping on. So Shawn said I have my own character. What character am I gonna be? Is it gonna be common, rare?
I heard that you like cats, so we do. But we do have a cat doctor already.
You heard it here first. But yeah, so you talked about your previous game, which was Super Steam Puff, right? And it was really well received on the iOS and Android and whatnot. Now, I want to ask you, do you think, seeing how Nintendo Switch is being so popular nowadays, do you think there's a chance either WarPods or even Super Steam Puff be ported to Nintendo Switch? We've been seeing so much ports. E3 was just ports. Will we see any chance of that?
There might be a slim chance. There were talks about Super Steam Puff being on Nintendo Switch, but we remember we are a small team. We're trying our best. So you might see in the future. But yeah,
I'll get a game if it comes out on Switch.
Okay.
It's really cool to see you guys expanding so much. So tell us a little bit more about the special events in game. I understand you guys put a lot of effort into it to make sure there's replay value, everyone comes back. I just want to know more about how it affects the game, and if you do it, if you don't do it, how it's going to affect your gameplay.
Okay, so they pretty much act like weekly time limited events. So they only run for like 5 to 6 days at a time. But they give you like an extra story that you could dive into, especially with the characters that we think are not doing as well at the same time. So sometimes like, hey, that cat doctor that you saw, he wasn't very popular like 3 weeks ago. No one even knew he existed, I guess, compared to the others. But then we put out like a little story involving him and like a nurse and
Miss Flubs.
Flubs, the bacteria protozoan.
Bacteria
Yeah.
It's a literal life-size protozoa. So
okay.
Diversity.
I'm seeing where you're going from there.
Whichever way you wanna bend towards,
Yeah, actually, Scratch was a cameo as well. He didn't do
but suddenly people just wanted to play Scratch all of a sudden. And
Yeah, it's a really good idea. It's a cool idea to just bring out all the characters, make sure everyone is well loved, equally loved as well. So, what are immediate plans for WarPods? Shawn said that your release is coming in like a month's time or so. So, what's your immediate goal when it releases?
Immediate goal. First, we still have to make a lot more events. That's my goal. We're planning characters so far. We will introduce some, not all, because there's a balancing involved, and we have to be very careful.
We do have a few already in
plan.
works. Yeah.
But it's hard to slot them, and we have to find the right moments too, because they're not all like
Right. So with your release date so close, is it getting more tense, more anxious, or is it like you're a pro, you already know, no problems in there, or is it still always that fresh feel?
Kind of used to it. It's intense, but we're used to the intense pace.
Well,
for me,
I'm pretty excited.
I'm definitely excited. Still got a lot of art to draw, which I love.
I can't wait to actually see the full game. Yeah. So is there any last shout outs you want to do before we do wrap up this interview?
Shout outs. Our music guy Falk for making such amazing music. Who else?
I guess our fans and our current players who have been helping with the betas and all that.
Majora Juno, Spamus.
A lot of good people.
So many.
Without them, of course, we will never get this thing balanced.
I like that this whole game is very community based, and I think hopefully that's how you'll just grow the community itself, right? I really get that vibe from it. Well, thank you so much for your time, JD.
Thank you
so much, Dan.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Shawn, who's off camera at the moment. They're from Weyrdworks. So yeah, you can catch their game, which will be out August 16. Hopefully that's right. Yeah, August 16. You can catch up more news at c.ign.com. My name is Matthew, signing out.